Hare Krishna. Better? Okay. Bhagavatam. What's the best? 1-6. 1-6. This one. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurumritam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manubhishtam Sadhutam Jena Bhutale Swayam Pakadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurun Sitapaya Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Visakham Vitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopisa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gourangi Radhe Vrindavani Vrisabhar Site Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sundhyaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavabhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Sivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Gantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki Gantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki Dhira Maharaj ki Krishna.
Krishna.
A reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 6. Conversation between Narada Muni and Vyāsadeva. Text number 2. Six, 162. Canto 1, Chapter 6. Text number 2. Conversation between Narada Muni and Śrī Vyāsadeva. The verse is suggested by His Grace, Dhira. He speaks Bhagavatam. So we don't know him. He recites Bhagavatam. He's trained by his spiritual master, His Holiness Radha Govind Maharaj. So he speaks Bhagavatam very nicely. So he suggested this verse. So we will look at it and see the message which it is here for us. Vyāsa uvāca bhikṣubhir vipravasite vijñānādeṣṭṛbhis tava vartamāno vayasy ādye tataḥ akarod bhavān. Vyāsa uvāca bhikṣubhir vipravasite vijñānādeṣṭṛbhis tava vartamāno vayasy ādye tataḥ akarod bhavān. Vyāsa uvāca bhikṣubhir vipravasite vijñānādeṣṭṛbhis tava vartamāno vayasy ādye tataḥ akarod bhavān. Vyāsa uvāca. Śrī Vyāsadeva said, Bhikṣubhir, by the great mendicant, vipravasite, having departed for other places, vijñāna, scientific knowledge in transcendence, ādye, those who had instructed, tava, of Dhira, vartamāno, present, vayasy, of the duration of life, ādye, before the beginning of, tataḥ, after that, him, what? Akarod, did. Bhavān, your good self. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, S.C. Bhaktivedantas Swami Śrīla Prabhupada ki. Śrī Vyāsadeva said, repeat.
Śrī Vyāsadeva said,
What did you,
Nārada,
do
do
after the departure
after the departure
of the great sages
of the great sages
who had instructed you
who had instructed you
in scientific transcendental knowledge
in scientific transcendental knowledge
before the beginning of your present birth?
before the beginning of your present birth?
Purport. Vyāsadeva himself was the disciple of Nāradajī, and therefore it was natural to be anxious to hear what Narada did after initiation from the spiritual masters. He wanted to follow in Narada's footsteps in order to attain to the same perfect stage of life. This desire to inquire from the spiritual master is an essential factor to the progressive path. This process is technically known as sad-dharma-pṛcchā. Sad-dharma-pṛcchā. So that is the end of Srila Prabhupada's purport to text 2, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 6, entitled Conversation between Narada Muni and Vyāsadeva. Hare Krishna. Vyāsadeva is asking his spiritual master, what did you do, you Narada? What did you do after the departure of the great sages? How do we behave? How do we behave in the physical absence of the spiritual master? What is our behavior? What is our activity? What do we do? And purpose is an important question because generally, when the teacher is in the classroom, everybody pretends. That's one way, everybody pretends. Secondly, the spiritual master's energy, it keeps everyone together. But when he's not physically present, that is when one can understand the kind of disciple we have been all the time the spiritual master is physically present. You know a good student when the master is not physically present. A whimsical student will become the master immaturely. Because he's immaturely acting, his immature activity is nothing but distortion. It is distortion. Because there is no potency, there is no proper understanding, and there is no support. An empty vessel. Empty vessel makes noise. Empty vessel makes noise. Vessel which is full is silent. Those who have knowledge, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne. Vidya Vinaya is Sampanne. Very, very, very gentle, very, very humble. By dint of true knowledge, one becomes gentle, not arrogant. But one who doesn't have a true knowledge, one will become very proud, very proud. Studying the Vedas and performing austerities has two side effects. Has two sides. To study the Vedas and to practice austerity, the two things will come from it. If one is practicing austerity or studying the scriptures mechanically for material benefit, one will become very proud. If one is performing austerity and is studying the Vedas for the purpose of becoming a better devotee, you become very gentle and humble. Because that brings realization, to understand the self, to see how insignificant we are. So humility is natural for pure devotees, while humility is not natural for people who are not pure devotees, because they naturally understand our insignificant situation, our helpless, totally helpless situation. Pure devotees are fully aware. Therefore, they are genuinely humble. The humility is due to purity, not just knowledge or circumstantial humility. It is pure. So, Śrīla Vyāsadeva, you want to know what his guru did when his spiritual master was not present. You want to know. And Prabhupada said here because he wants to follow the footsteps. This is the nature of a bona fide disciple. A whimsical disciple will never have this kind of consciousness to ask from a spiritual master the path he traversed that made him what he is, that he is undisturbed in all circumstances, is fixed in all circumstances. Even though there's so many things that can give reason for him or her to have a change in mind, but to remain fixed, to remain steady and progressive in Krishna consciousness. Only the total, a complete science, different science to do that. So, Vyāsadeva is asking, teach me the secret so I can also follow you in the first time. Simple step. So, what did you do after the departure of the sage, of the great sage who had instructed you in scientific transcendental knowledge before the beginning of your present birth? Narada Muni is a very powerful devotee. He's a different species. He wouldn't the jiva. He's a different species. Like Hanuman is a different species. They are different species. Their position is different. When Narada Muni was assisting his mother in serving the Bhaktivedanta, they were not speaking to him directly. They were speaking among themselves about Krishna. And Narada Muni was hearing that. So it is said, just go and hear the sadhus. Don't worry if they are speaking to you or not. Don't worry about that. They don't need to speak to you directly or indirectly. Just sit down and hear what they are discussing. It is sufficient to make you God conscious. That is the potency of hearing from the sadhus. Just hear. If you hear, you get everything. Narada Muni was just hearing. And he never asked them questions, but he was just a good hearer. He was just a good listener. A good listener means the mind is not distracted with so many things. And because of that, he confessed the miracle that took place in his life just by hearing. So it's very important for us to understand this. So, Prabhupada said, Vyāsadeva himself was the disciple of Nārada, and therefore it was natural to be anxious to hear what Nārada did after initiation from the spiritual masters. Many people took initiation whimsically. Many devotees, they took initiation whimsically. They wouldn't have this experience. So many disqualifications are there. They wouldn't have this experience. Those who understood what initiation is, they have the blessing. So Prabhupada said, after the initiation in this chapter, after initiation, the disciples will feel different. This will be difference. And Narada Muni showed that difference. And Vyāsadeva also showed that difference. It was natural to be anxious to hear what Narada did after initiation from the spiritual masters. He wanted to follow in Narada's footsteps. That was the reason why he's asking, to attain the same stage of life. This desire to inquire from the spiritual master is an essential factor to the progressive path. Questions to be asked to the spiritual master. What kind of questions should be asked? A spiritual master is going, a disciple is asking his spiritual master one question for his whole life. Not a spiritual question. Not a spiritual question. The same question you ask a spiritual master for your life. That is not what Narada Muni did yesterday. Not even a spiritual question, material question. Gurudev, what about my mind? Gurudev gave instruction. No, Gurudev, if I do like that, then I will not be able to practice nicely. Then what do you ask? Why do you ask the question? If you know that you know the answer to your question, why you ask? It's against our etiquette to ask a question just ask a question to waste the time, and you're not ready to take the answer, and you don't have the qualification to understand the question. Do not ask. You should ask a question only when you're ready for the answer. You can understand it and you apply it. That's the process for asking questions. We ask questions to know, for better, to more detailed explanation, so we can understand the subject matter better. When the spiritual master gives order, it's our duty to ask questions for clarification, so we can have a better understanding. So the spiritual master is telling you, forget the mind. Try to forget the mind. Listen to the mantra which is chanting, and try to execute the order the spiritual master. No, Gurudev, if I don't listen to my mind, then I become mannerless. And for entire life is going to ask the same question. Or so you're going to ask the question, Gurudev, my marriage, the same question you're going to ask for life, the same question every day. So you think that the spiritual master's business is to waste his time with something you cannot understand. Did he arrange your marriage? The spiritual master, did he arrange your marriage? You whimsically arrange and you come to dump the problem. And when he gives you instructions, you don't take it. The next minute, you're going to ask the same thing. 100 questions is the same thing. That is not what Vyāsadeva and Narada Muni did. They are very progressive. Prabhupada said, this desire to inquire from the spiritual master is an essential factor to the progressive part. And this process is technically known as sad-dharma-pṛcchā. It's an essential question. Essential. A question which has the answer that will keep us closer attached to Krishna. It's an essential question. That's the only question. And when experience Guru who has this understanding, he knows all these whimsical things that will come to him. So he told disciples only two things. If you have questions in Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, you come to me. If you have questions outside Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, ask someone else. But for Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, come to me. He doing it because of the experience he's having for years. So he did that because he knows we have whimsical disciples who waste the Guru's time. If you're not careful, You waste your time for nothing. So we should learn. We should learn. The relationship which is there between the disciple and the spiritual master. When the Muni was hearing from the Bhaktivedantas, he was simply serving them sincerely from his heart, without any expectation. He was just hearing. And after he had them for a long time, he says, his disciple is asking, O son of Brahma, how did you pass your life after initiation? And how did you attain this body, having put your old one in due course? This is a question yesterday we asked it. Shinani in his previous life was just an ordinary maid-servant son. So how did he become so perfectly transformed into the spiritual body of eternal life? Bliss and knowledge is certainly important. Śrī Vyāsadeva desired him to disclose the fact for everyone's satisfaction. A maid-servant son, daughter, maid-servant son, became a spaceman. The Muni's life is so transcendental. You see, demon doesn't like Krishna, but demon like Narada. You don't see demons apart from Daksha. Nobody attacked, no demon attacked Narada. You can go anywhere, you can go to camps, anywhere that the Muni goes freely. But Krishna doesn't go freely like that. There are so many demons to fight with. And the Muni has no problem with anybody. He's free. That's how transcendental he is. So free. Because of his practice. So now basically want to know what brought this such a transformation. I want to know the process of transformation. This is where we should look at. We should be concerned with transformation, not transcendence. Transcendence is at the end. Transformation is now. Before transcendence, there must be transformation. Without transformation, there's no transcendence. We are jumping to transcendence and forgetting transformation. Our characters are not proper. Our behavior does not suit the process of bhakti, from what I see every day. Our life in general does not fit the process of bhakti. And worst of it all is that we are not trying to fit into the process of bhakti. We are trying to adjust bhakti to fit into our own life. It is risky, very dangerous. You understand that? We should not do that. We should try to fit into the process of bhakti, because the bhakti has the potency to transform us. But when we are trying to adjust bhakti to suit into our own concocted situation, we are simply wasting our time and making it more difficult for ourselves and difficult for others. Because in this material world, whatever you do will affect everybody. Everything that we do will affect everybody. It's a big message. The things we do and the things we don't do affect people, especially the leaders. Whatever we do will affect people, and what we do not do will affect people. It is a big message. Therefore, we should try to follow the process of transformation. This is what Vyāsadeva is saying. How did you get so transformed? What did you do? The spiritual master physically left, and you don't have that the physical coverings again. How did you maintain the spiritual life? after that, the spiritual master's body will not be there all the time, but his spiritual life is present all the time. But not many disciples have that fortune to be connected with that eternal spiritual master. We don't, many of us doesn't have that fortune. So Vyāsadeva is creating the way for us to enter into that part. What is the process of transformation that you went through? Because I want to follow the same thing to get to where you are. It's very important. Very important question. Oh, great sage, time annihilates everything in due course. So how is it that this subject matter which happened prior to this day of Brahma is still fresh in the memory, undisturbed by time? Prabhupada said, a spirit is not annihilated even after the annihilation of the material body. So also spiritual consciousness is not annihilated. Sri Narada developed this spiritual consciousness even when he had his material body in the previous kalpa. Consciousness of the material body means spiritual consciousness expressed through the medium of a material body. This consciousness is inferior, destructible, and perverted. But superconsciousness of the supramind in the spiritual plane is as good as a spirit soul and is never annihilated. Time is supreme in the material world. It changes everything, but time does not change bhakti. The process is different, but the bhakti is time does not change because it's eternal. That's eternal. So how is it that this subject matter which happened prior to this day of Brahma is still fresh in the memory, undisturbed by time? We have the responsibility to prove what is pure Krishna consciousness beyond time, beyond space, and beyond circumstances. Bhakti is beyond time, beyond space, and beyond circumstances. It's not affected. Had we keep our consciousness always in Krishna, that nothing affected. Lord Brahma, he told Narada Muni in the second canto, because I'm holding the lotus feet of Lord Krishna with the great zeal, therefore nothing can affect me. Nothing can affect my bhakti. Nothing can affect my bhakti. Everything is completely intact because I'm holding to the process very strongly. Therefore, even though time is passing, Krishna consciousness remains as it is, never changed. After asking the question, Narada Muni said, Sri Narada Muni said, the great sages who had imparted scientific knowledge of transcendence to me departed for other places, and I had to pass my life in this way. And Muni was not morose. He was not disappointed. What will happen to me? He was not thinking like that. Because the seed of bhakti had already been planted, and he continued to nourish it by continuous hearing. In his previous life, Nāradaji was impregnated with spiritual knowledge by this grace, the grace of the great sages. there was a tangible change in his life. Tangible change in his life after initiation, Papa said. Although he was only a boy of 5 years, that is an important symptom visible after initiation by the bona fide spiritual master. Actual association of devotees brings about a quick change in life for spiritual realization. How is it so acted upon the previous life of Sri Narada? Muni is described by in this chapter. The seed is planted. When the Bhaktivedantas were about to leave and seeing the submissive, gentle, and sincere nature of Narada Muni, they discussed among themselves. Now we are leaving. This boy has rendered service to us for this 4 months. So what to do? What to do? He did a great service. So what to do with him? Give him money because his mother is serving there for money. His mother was serving there for money. So give him to increase his salary? Huh? No, that's not their business. We have knowledge. So what to do? Let's initiate him into Bhaktivedanta. So they unanimously agreed, yeah, this boy attracted our attention by his service. His service attracted attention. Let's bless him. They give her the money knowledge. They gave him knowledge. After the initiation, the bhakti which had been ignited within him was burning. After initiation, there was a transformation, there's a change. And because of that change, and Krishna saw that, Krishna himself, he saw that yes, this boy now is restless in bhakti. And not to distract him from anything else. And Krishna saw that his mother was a distraction. She has only this boy. And he also has only his mother. They only have each other. So they will be very attached to each other. That's natural. They will be very attached to each other. Another attachment is material. Kunti Devi said, I don't want to have material attachment even for my children. They are devotees, but I don't want to have material attachment for them. Let me have only spiritual attachment. In the Muni's case, the mother was not so developed like Kunti Devi. So her attachment to Narada Muni was material. So Krishna saw that and saw the bhakti of Narada Muni. So Krishna arranged for his mother to leave the body. So in this way, Narada Muni is free. There's no father, there's no brother, there's no sister, nobody to be attached to. So the only person to be attached to is the mother. And now the mother is also gone. So liberation. Krishna liberated him. So he left. So yesterday we asking, what did you do after the initiation? When the spiritual master initiated you and left to other places, and you may not see again. So what did you do? Did you become disappointed or Guru is not here, Guru is thousands of kilometers away, what to do? He's supposed to be here to take care of me, I'm not here, Guru should take care of disciple. And after his initiation, now he's left. This is a ISKCON language. After a Guru initiates you, he's gone. So what do? You are helpless now. You're useless. What is your Guru? What is your Guru? After initiation, what is your Guru? Let's travel. You have your own. That is not a bona fide disciple. That situation is not experienced by a bona fide disciple. A bona fide disciple and a bona fide Guru, they are always present with each other. The physical absence has nothing to do with it. My special master gave me that blessing. Before he left, he told me, my physical absence will not have effect on you. I'm very fortunate. I got the blessing. And it is happening. Do you see me restless? I'm sorry to say like that. No pride. It's not forcible. It's not forcible. You see me restless? Looking for somebody? Huh? Why? He's here. You don't see? You don't see? You don't see him sitting here? You don't know he's speaking to you. You don't see? This is what is happening. This is what is happening. This is what is happening. Narada Muni and Vyāsadeva. This is what is happening. Not more than 5,000 years. More than 5,000 years. We only say 5,000 years, 5,000 years, 5,000 years. But the President reminded us it's more than that because we have been saying this for many years. See, more than that. It's not 500. It's not more than 500. 500 and above. 30 something. 530 something years. It's not 500. And not 5,000 for Krishna. It's more than that. It's getting to 6,000 now. So it's more than that. So this is not more than 5,000 years ago. It is the present. My physical absence will never have effect on you. Anywhere you go, people will see me in you. And many devotees have confessed that. Many devotees have confessed it. This is spiritual life. This is Christian consciousness. That we bona fide is, sorry, I'm using this wrong word for myself. I'm not bona fide. But for preaching, you have to say it. For preaching, you have to say it. That the situation could exist between the bona fide disciple, the bona fide guru, is that they're always present. And there's no absence between them. There's no absence. But one who is feeling the absence means you are not properly connected. So we wrote that book to help us make the connection, spiritual connection, to be established. So we don't feel any disconnection. Those who are doing hero worship, they will be disconnected with the spiritual master and physically present. But those who are doing Guru Puja, they will remain connected. They will remain connected with the spiritual master. There is no absence. They are eternally connected. And their progression continues. This is what Vyāsadeva and Narada Muni established. Actual association of devotee brings about a quick change in life for spiritual realization. How it so acted upon the previous life of Sri Narada Muni is described by this chapter. Bona fide disciple that the Muni mentioned in text 29. That is text 5. Yeah, this is chapter 5. Text 29. 29. Yes. This is 1:5:29. That the Muni said, I was very much attached to those sages. I was very much attached to the sages. One qualification. I was gentle in behavior. I was? How many? And all my senses were eradicated in their service. In my heart, I have strong faith in them. How many? I have subjugated my senses and I was strictly following them with body and mind. How many qualities? I was strictly following them with and mind. This is a bona fide disciple. Bona fide disciple. With this qualification, what is experience? He said, I eradicated all my sins. All my sins were eradicated in their presence, in their service. Because of these qualities, all my sins were eradicated, completely eradicated. And as they were leaving, those Bhaktivedantas who are very kind to poor hearted souls instructed me in that most confidential subject, which is instructed by the personality of God Himself. This is the experience. This experience to have. And this is what we call the spiritual connection. When this is there, we are complete. We're complete. So not to go too far, we are all here now. When we go back to our houses, what are we going to be? What are we going to do when we go back to after when I came with the Gurujan Prabhu, such another Swami Maharaj? We're sitting here like this, and Gurujan Prabhu said, we are sitting on the lap of Dhira Maharaj, the key. We are sitting on Giriraj Maharaj's lap. We are sitting on his lap. What a great fortune. You know the fortune? Eh?
Yes.
So when we get back to our different places, will we remember sitting on the lap of Giriraj? This is what Vyāsadeva is doing. Is it all? Do you understand? What will we do when we leave this place? What are we going to do? That is the question. Thank you for selecting this. It's connected. Vyāsadeva is asking, or we are asking disciples, what will you do after you leave here? What are we going to do after we leave here? We have visited many places, right? We have had so many discussions, so many pastimes. So what will we do with them after we leave here? That's the question. That's what we're discussing. So we want to know before we leave here. So we're preparing you. This is our duty. This is our duty. Will you remember you were dancing in the Kirtan? Will you remember the devotees you were dancing with? Will they still be prominent in the mind? Or you drop them here and go? What will you do? I'm asking you, tell me, because we are going to, I'm doing something practical to help you. I want everything to, as a good teacher. You can just answer, no need to ask individual.
We will live in consciousness.
Will you carry this with you, or you're going to drop it here and just go as you came? Huh? Please carry everything you have gotten here. You take them with you. And our system is parampara. As my spiritual master told me, his physical absence will not make difference in me. I want to say that to all of you. If you come to the mark, it will not say to everybody. It will not say to everybody. That means that some certain qualities are expected. Some certain qualities. Do you expect something from a spiritual master? Do you have? The spiritual master doesn't have? Huh? The spiritual master also has expectations from all. We want you to carry what we have had. Branch. We came from Nārada to Vrindavan. So carry all of them with you. and continue to distribute. You know how to distribute? Eh? Do you know how to distribute? You should speak about what we have had here to the devotees when you go back. Speak every day. But we went to this place, we discussed like this, we have kirtan like this, person spoke here, we did abhishekam, we did this, we did this. We should carry all this with us. And every day, distribute that. Then you will never be empty. You will never feel absence of your master. You will always see him always. And then we'll come back again to continue. This is our system. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Does it make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Comment. Comment. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much for your wonderful association. We really feel fortunate sitting here.
On the lap of my Giriraj. The lap of Giriraj. No,
Yes,
complete it.
3-4 months before I was sitting right here and praying to Giriraj a lot of things, and I'm seeing some of them manifest in my life. So I'm very thankful to you that you are giving us this opportunity always, and I'm praying to Giriraj Govardhan that we be able to carry everything that you have given us. I was thinking about one thing you mentioned in the class also, that when we are here, there is a spiritual master's energy which is keeping us together, which is pushing us. And when we go back to our means, that energy specifically is at times not experienced. So how do we raise the consciousness of our wounds? And because the weaknesses are still there, but it was your presence that was pushing us to do a lot of things that we couldn't otherwise do. So how do we carry that energy of the spiritual master?
I just concluded. How do we continue? This is why I ended. We should always remember everything we have been hearing from Nārada to Braj here, all the places we've been visiting. So remember where we are sitting, where we are taking prasadam, who we are talking with. We travel with in the bus, in the rickshaw. We sit at the lap of Giriraj. I will discuss what we heard. We should carry them and continue to distribute them. If we do like this, we will remain connected. We will never feel the absence. That is how to continue. If you go and keep everything in the box, everything will you will not find it. It will not remain there in the box. You can keep it in the box, but when you go back there next time, you won't see it there in the box. It will leak out. It will evaporate. If you distribute, it will not evaporate. It will remain with you. Continue to distribute. We went to Govardhan and we're sitting there on his lap and we're listening to Narada Muni being questioned by his disciple Vyāsadeva. His interest was to follow in his footsteps and become transcendental like him. He wanted to attain, not competition, competition. Yes, it is our nature to say, I cannot be like my guru. Yes, it is true, cannot be like a guru, but you can become a pure devotee. So we shouldn't, our humility should not make us to forget that we can become a pure devotee. Christians, they make Jesus God so that they don't feel guilty for not becoming a pure devotee. Jesus is God. You can't be God. So there's no need for me. That is God, it's not me. So what is the purpose of Jesus coming? To come and show us his purity and just go away. Have you seen my beauty now? Why? Is that the reason why they came? They came to make us pure devotees so they can send us back to Godhead. So our humility should not deny us this. That becomes foolishness, not humility. So we should distribute all the messages that we have been given. We should distribute it. If we distribute it, we will get more and more and more. And that is the way for progress in Christian consciousness. To constantly hear and repeat it to others. Alright?
You were mentioning, and this is something I observed in myself also, that we have certain natures and we are trying to fit that into Bhakti. If I look at myself, I would see that many a times I would be very frivolous, and this is not how I would see. I know that my spiritual master would not be happy to see me that way, but I can at the same time also not pretend to be grave or serious suddenly. So how do I condition myself? How do I improve myself?
We don't have to pretend, and we don't have to imitate, but we have to follow. Why Vyāsadeva is asking Narada Muni? Because he wants to follow. Prabhupada mentioned in the PURPORT. He wants to follow. So what is he following? He is following what his spiritual master did. That's what he's following. Here he mentioned, I was not faithless in the great sages, right? I had faith. I was submissive. I was very attached to them. Even my body and mind, I dedicated all to them. As a boy, I was not into playing cricket or football. I was not restless like boys of my age would do. I was different. I was gentle by behavior. Gentle. So he has enumerated all these things to his disciple. So now this disciple have to practice all this. That is what is happening. That is what we should do. It's not imitation. It's not denying the reality, but it's accepting what is real and do it so we can get there. So practice gentility. You should be submissive. Right? He said, I subjugated my senses. So we should try that. To control the senses. That's what it means. Trying to regulate the senses. So we try that. That's why we're here. To regulate our senses. Muni, he asked and Muni gave it to him. So now our duty is to follow it. We are hearing and thinking that we're hearing every day. We're hearing and doing nothing. Nothing will happen. It will remain like this. We will change only if we put into practice everything that we are hearing. So put them into practice. Then we will see what we are practicing. You see the result. Practice makes perfect, not theory. Theory does not make perfect. You see our devotees, our system now is in our time when we joined the movement. In the afternoon, we are not in the temple. We are in the field preaching. It's a different way. In our present temples now, in afternoon, we are in seminars and sleeping. This is what we do now. Then we have a separate time for both devotion, or a separate devotee will go for both devotion. But other devotees who are not Sankirtan devotees, they're doing seminar. The seminar we're doing, it is cultivating knowledge, not bhakti. Therefore, look at devotees, look at our behavior. His Holiness but the Narayan Goswami Maharaj, he said, once they follow Śrīla Prabhupada to the it's coming on my face. It's on my face. So they follow Śrīla Prabhupada to the airport, and transcendental people. Know what we do? Transcendental people cover everywhere without being mindful that other people are there. Not the airport is not meant for Hare Krishna. You know the Hare Krishna temple. They're not mindful. Is that Krishna consciousness? Is that Krishna consciousness? So when the airport authorities saw the devotees blocked the way, so announced, please everybody to give way. The first person who stood up was Prabhupada. He stood up and went to one side. Other devotees transcendentalists were still covering the place. This is what we do. Let's go to the bus. We are going to the toilet. Do you think that it has no effect in your Krishna consciousness? You think so? It has a serious effect in your practice, in your progress in Krishna consciousness. Because we have to become human beings first before we can talk about entering into the activities of human beings. We must become human. Human beings will have qualities to make one human. Without religion, without the scripture, there are certain qualities that human beings will have. Before we can understand our scripture, before we can accept the religion, before we can talk about God, we have to become human beings first. What are the qualities of a human being? You look at devotees. They all have serious effect in our progress. You can quote your slokas, you can recite the scripture, whatever you want to do. Please try to understand that Bhakti is different from all these things. Otherwise, Sarah Bomb Potential will have gone back to Godhead first before all everybody else. Was he the first person to go back to Godhead? Huh? Prakasanana Saraswati. Back to Godhead. Do you know? We should know, we should see what is happening. We are not seeing properly because our mind is so clouded with so much Narada is covering our consciousness that we don't see. The devotees, they misbehave and come and stand on Swami's feet. They will stand on Swami's feet. When somebody is told us, no, it's finished. You think you have neutralized it? Like that? You have neutralized everything? Is that the process? So like that? So whimsical like that? Look at the whole Hare Krishna devotees. So much unculturedness in our consciousness. So let us follow. That's how we get there. I think it's getting that now. Huh? Yes, let's go back to our base and continue from there. Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Dhira Govardhan ki jai, Jai Gautama. All glorious assembled devotees. Yeah.